that was in Haley's name. I forgot about it. I deposited it. It's a TSP. It's a government account. You can only get this thing. It's a high interest building account. You can only get it from being in the government job or whatever, right?
Yeah, I remember. You were always putting money in that.
Yeah. Well, I put my the recession the stock market, all this market crash stuff slashed it in half. It used to be like $5,500. Well, I thought that it was locked up. I had it in Haley's name, but the child support agency was able to sanction it, and they issued her a check for the whole account, which was only $2,500 at that point in time. But it was a sinful thing, because should they not have issued that money to her, she would not have left her parents' house. That was the week she moved out of her parents' house, and she moved out of her parents' house, and with her parents watching, that was what was maintaining the, you can only do so much crazy stuff in front of old people. Her parents aren't the best characters either, but, they're older, so she wasn't willing to do all this cut me off completely crap right under their roof. But she moved out with that TSP check, and then 2 months later, so it's almost like I gotta finish this movie, because look at the evidence. If you look at the evidence, if you follow everything, I mean, I would file a custody paperwork, and she would respond by filing an elevated child support. Like, okay, buddy, well, you want to try to see your child? Well, I'm going to try to make you pay me more.
Right.
Like it's so clear, cut, dry that this child's been treated like nothing but a bargaining chip. And then of course, okay, do you have a question whether this child is a bargaining chip or not? All right, watch this. I'll stop paying support, and then bang, cut me off. Cut me off from the 9-year-old kid. This is a fully aware child now, 9 years old, in 2nd grade. Bang, I'm cut off. Then she gets the child support sanction. She moves away from the parents, and of course, so it's the child support is ruining everything. It's ruining the whole thing. If she was not receiving the check all those years, do you think Haley would have got to live with me full time?
Right.
Probably, right? She probably would have said, "All right, I want to go get drunk.
Right.
I'm not getting paid off of this dude no more. This kid's expensive. I think maybe she could go live with him a little bit now."
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, she's just a fucking bitch. She's gonna get what's coming to her. I really wish she'd come visit Albuquerque.
She did not too long ago, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wish I'd have known that.
Yep.
I'd gone and fucking whoop her ass. She knows of me. She does not know what I look like.
No, she doesn't know.
Any of that.
What I'm really after is just, this story just has to get told. If I package this up into this nice video presentation and just start mailing the damn thing off everywhere in the world, maybe that'll spark,
Yeah. Jimmy, will you take care of buddy? Yeah, I don't know. She's just a dumb bitch, though.
Yeah, that's what I had to say for the longest time, but boy, she has, meticulously, I don't know how she pulled this all off. I know how she did it.
Because she knows you're there now, and what can you do from there? She knows that. That's why she's fucking playing this shit.
No, but she's yeah, for sure. But she's built this up over years, man. This whole the child support that she's getting. Well, I guess that's not. I guess there's other dads getting hit way harder, but.
She needs to go. Dorothy needs to go out on a leash. Then you can't just let her out. But hurry before she shits on the floor again. Damn dog. But yeah, she'll get what's coming to her. Fucking, she can only fuck around for so long before fucking shit starts coming back on her.
Yeah, well, it's pretty well piled up right now, but it's like, it's still my job to sit here and put it all together into something someone can understand. You know, it's like, if you take one or two bits of history, you're like, oh, well, that's messed up, but once you see the whole thing all smashed together, you're like, holy shit. You know, this woman has told every lie you could tell. She's done every, you know, when I was, do you remember she went out behind my back, well, when I was deployed, I don't know if you ever knew that, I was deployed. I just remembered this the other day. This is like one of the millions of things I've even forgotten. Like, while I was overseas, she went behind my back and said to the court she didn't know where I was, and they issued her
oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember you told me about that.
A default full custody. I have never been able to make the courts pay attention to that because it's so far back in the history. There's some sort of technicality to where, oh, well, we've issued judgments beyond that. I'm like, well, why don't you look at the judgments that you've issued and the different things that you've done that she's filed with here as direct and concrete evidence of the past? Because that's what it is. But it's really, really weird. It somehow just ends up, no, screw you, shut up and pay. And we don't care if your child gets to see her father or not. And we don't care if she's a stupid lady that's totally irresponsible in everything we're doing. What we're actually going to do is issue her a court order that says what times of the day she can work and what times of the day she cannot work. And we actually, and what kinds of jobs she can have and what kinds of jobs she can't have. And we're going to specifically tell you what kinds of daycares now you can use and what kinds of daycares you can't use. And we're going to issue the same exact visitation, but just all of a sudden expect you to go by it today rather than yesterday, when all we're doing is slapping you on the back of the hand and telling you to play right, lady.
Yep.
So that's what I mean. She was already 10 miles under the heap of crap that she had pulled, and they just let her off the chain, and they didn't switch custody. I got a 5-bedroom house. She's living off of some guy for free. And that's the same guy's the daycare provider. That same person's the daycare provider. And the guy's a bum. He doesn't even have kids of his own. He doesn't work a job. What the fuck does this look like to you?
Yep.
I mean, we don't even have to go in there and spy on them and pay a private investigator. Just what I just said in 2 sentences is enough to say this is not there's no way this is a correct environment. This is just totally not a better environment than what Dad has. Dad has a much better environment. He's a much better example as a human being.
Right.
But no, they don't see it like that. They see it through some weird. It does makes absolutely no sense. They just default to the mom. That's it. That's what it is. There's no point in even presenting any evidence because at the end, I'm almost convinced that she would have had to commit a felony. This is what my dad said. If she commits a felony, or there's evidence of her putting a cigarette out on the kid, then you'll get custody. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
I
say that shit too. It's hard to freaking prove a mother unfit, you know.
Well, you know what's hard. What's really, really hard is to like watch your kid know that your child's being brainwashed and lied to about you.
Right.
That her most important relationships in life, one's with her mother, yes, but the other with her father, has been totally terrorized by the mother, and that it's all been that's going on right now in full force, and there is nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do about it. I can't even talk to her. So that's what I mean. Like, what could be done if we go and put in a bunch of what's it called, Child Protective Services type of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, psychiatric abuse isn't really something that they'll be able to be specialized enough. They're not specialists about that, and we don't know what address to give them anyway. We don't know where they live.
Right.
So they're going to scrutinize the report. They're just probably not even going to investigate it. Well, you don't even know where the kid lives, but you're saying that you know the kid's, you know. And I think that they only step in with, like, sexual and physical abuse, right?
Yeah. Because it's really hard to prove emotional, mental abuse, you know what I mean, unless Haley said something. And then that's when all the red flags are going to come up, and then that's when they're going to start questioning Haley, you know, and asking her, you know, what's going on and things like that, and then that's when she's able to, I mean, once it gets to that point, if it ever gets to that point, they're going to ask her about you, you know what I mean? And then she's going to say, you know, I miss my dad, you know, he doesn't see me. And then they're going to ask, well, why doesn't he see you? And then she's going to say, I don't know, you know what I mean? And
no, she's gonna say because he just stopped talking to me, or because he's in jail, or some sort of lie. You know, she's gonna say something that is gonna make me look bad. Her mom knows what she's been becoming slowly but surely making herself an expert at at playing this system. I mean, she is an expert. If you could recommend someone to tell a person how to fuck over a dad, she'll be the one to recommend that, you know?
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just gonna put up red flags. You know, for these people that are texting Haley.
They're not gonna do nothing, man. Their system.
They're gonna want to look in. They're gonna want to do a little investigation on you to see, you know, why Melissa's saying these things and why, you know.
And what is that gonna look like, right?
Well, it doesn't matter your background. It matters how you are with her.
Well, but that's the thing. Haley's gonna be saying I'm a dick. I mean, that's like this truth I've had to. That's why I'm so depressed.
I don't think so. You need to have a little more faith in her. I don't think she would ever say that about you. No matter what Melissa says to her, I don't think Haley would ever say that about you, and I really don't think that she would ever think that about you either.
Well, so what does she think right now?
Well, she probably just feels abandoned and confused, you know?
That's what I mean. My poor little baby is feeling some fucking way that's not good.
Right? But, I mean, she's, as little as she is, she's not dumb. She's not dumb, that's for sure.
That's the last thing she is.
Right. You know, she's got to sit there and think to herself and wonder, you know?
And she's got to be begging her mom all the time, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. She has to be. She was always wanting to come stay with us. She was hardly ever wanting to go home. The older she got, when she was little, yeah, she always wanted, you know, she would cry for her mom and shit, remember?
Yeah.
But that's because she was little. She didn't know any different. But as she got older, she was crying because she wanted to stay with us. She didn't want to go back to her mom, right?
Yeah.
So
wait,
you know?
Say that again. I don't remember that. She all the time like that. But say it one more time.
I said she was always crying. When she was littler, she was crying to go to her mom because that's when she was little. I mean, she was still in diapers. You know, she was still a baby. But as she got older, she was crying to stay with us because she didn't want to go back to her mom. She wanted to stay with us.
Yeah, that's why her mom keeps doing this too.
Right, because she knows that she's happy. You know, and that's just shitty on Melissa's part, is because she's just so dead set on taking that happiness away from this little girl because she's selfish, you know what I mean? She's just a fucked up person. That's what the problem is. But Haley's not dumb. She's got a freaking, you know, I'm sure she sits there and thinks about this all the time. Well, why does my mom say this, but my dad, you know, never did this? You know, I'm sure she's probably got some thinking going on up in her head.